Today on the Lincoln Sports Zone, senior Chuck Williams wants to regain something that was taken away from him last year. And this weekend, he'll take the first step towards that goal.
Hockey players are used to playing shorthanded, but what happens when you have no players at all? The Lions react to the unfortunate end to their season.
Old rivals clash with a championship on the line. We've got the highlights of the Lions and the Panthers.
In striking down the competition, the Lady Lions work to repeat their state championship run. Get ready because you're in the zone. And welcome to the Lincoln Sports Zone. I'm Lily Sager.
And I'm Juju Grubich. Thanks for joining us in the zone.
It's our second episode and the show is packed.
We start with today's main event.
The boys basketball team hosting their biggest rival, Pickerington North, with a chance to win the outright Ohio Capital Conference title.
I was courtside to cover the game. Here are the highlights.
Lions start off with the lead. Cam Johnson to Sean Jones goes down the lane for two. Lions up 8-5. In the last seconds of the first quarter, LJD's with the rebound and tip into the basket. Lions finish the first quarter 10-5. Early off in the second quarter, Javen Simmons rolls, pass from Johnson, 2 points for Simmons and an and one. Simmons finishes with 11. Later in the quarter, Jones coast to coast with a beautiful finish. Jones finishes with 21. Minutes left in the third, Maceo Williams, turnaround floater, ends the third 37-33. Lions gain a lead. Jones alley-oop to Diaz to close the game out. Lions win 57-42.
Right now I feel very excited, but I'm really not surprised for real. But it feels great to win back-to-back.
As a senior this year, OCC is obviously good experience for me and the team, and glad to be here.
We won by 15, pretty tough team, but we took it by each and every quarter, and we won.
It feels good. It feels good to get a second one in a row. Proves to everybody that we're the number one team in the state. Nobody can beat us.
You know, it's nothing new. You know, it's back-to-back. I knew we were going to win. We said last year was going to go back-to-back, and it was. I had no pressure. I had a little bit of nerves, but it was all good. Once we got that lead, I knew we had it. It's back-to-back.
I feel good. You know, we worked hard for this. Coach Dodd, you know, always, you know, interpreted it. You know, he'd be like, we got to go hard during practice, and go hard during practice helped us a lot. You know, we the best in the OCC back-to-back, and we going to stay the best in the OCC for 3 years till I leave, and that's on me.
Congratulations, guys. The freshman basketball team can also call themselves OCC champs. The freshmen also beat Pick North 54-42 to earn a share of the OCC title. Joseph Bodie was the leading scorer of the Lions this year, and Jalen Scott was the second leading scorer. The Lions end the season with an 18-2 record. Great season, freshmen.
The boys basketball team isn't the only team to cut down the nets this season. The Varsity girls also won the OCC and took a 6th seed into the tournament. And on Saturday, it was tournament time as the Lions hosted the Cardinals. Javen Simmons has the highlights.
The Lady Lions hosted Thomas Worthington High School on Saturday, and it was a great game to watch. Late in the first, Clark Jackson on the fast break lays it up for 2. Lions up 4-0. She finished with 8 points. Later in the first quarter, Bella Ward stretched the rack for 2 points. Lions were down 8-9. Late in the second quarter, Layla Marshall gets an and one on the fast break. She would convert the free throw. She finished with 7 points, and we're tied at 18. In the third quarter, Ward spins and finishes at the rim. Lions are up 30-27. Ward finished with 22 points. Once again in the third, Ward clashes the glass and finishes. The Lions were up 32-27. And in the fourth, Ward with a strong take to the basket. She would finish that, and it would be 34-27. Sadly, the Lions lost this game, but finished your OCC champs. Great season, ladies.
Thanks, Javen. It was definitely a tough end to the season. However, at least the girls had the opportunity to play in the tournament. The same can't be said for our varsity hockey team. They were all set to face Worthington-Kilbourne in the sectional tournament Saturday, but on Friday, they had to go into quarantine after a positive COVID test, thus ending their season. Our Josh Knuckles caught up with some of his teammates to get their thoughts on the abrupt end to their season.
My phone started ringing, and it was like towards the end. So I just kind of stepped outside into it was snowing on the Thursday night. And so I was just kind of standing there, and our coach told me that our season was done. And I was like kind of stunned. Like I was just standing there, and he was telling me, like, he was thanking me for my 4 years and all my contributions to the program and everything I've done. And I was thanking him for saying all that. And I didn't really know like how to react because I was still like at the school. I didn't really have time to process everything that was happening. It's just kind of very sudden.
And they said, your season's over. And I everything kind of just like stopped. And I don't know, it's a dramatic way of putting it, but I guess that's like what I saw. And then he started thanking me for my 4 years. And I think I know that there were only 1 to 2 games left in the season probably, but it's still like that's not how I envisioned hearing those sentences. Like, thank you for your 4 years. If you ever have time in the summer, come back and help us out in summer practices. Like I envisioned that maybe in the locker room at the end of the game or at a banquet, which I don't even know if we're having, probably somehow. But it's very, very different and very jarring.
Thanks, guys, and sorry to hear about the end of your season. At least the hockey team had a chance on a recent snow day to do what they love most, play hockey. We sent our Evan Henry out for a little pond hockey and a minute with boys hockey.
So it's Josh Knuckles and Hayden Mora, and we're out here on the Harrison Pond. I'm asking some questions. And what do you guys think about coming out here and having some fun on the pond?
Oh, just coming out here on a snow day or whatever it is, just chilling and, getting the Zamboni going, just firing some shots on the sauce kit. It's a great experience overall.
But who's your favorite hockey player?
I'm a big fan of Artemi Panarin.
And what are your plans after high school?
I'm going to attend 4-year college for business, hopefully OSU or Miami University.
Thanks, Evan. 9 Lions swimmers and divers will be competing at the State Swimming and Diving Championship this weekend up in Canton. Qualifying for state were Ashley Provan, who finished second at district, scoring 30 points for the team. Also swimming at the states are Marie Belli, Stella Brawford, Eloise Fisher, Kendall Hitler, Sammy Kiss, Campbell Payton, Reagan Reitz, and McCord Riegler. Congrats, everyone, and good luck at states.
We will have a look back on a great swim season on the next week's zone. Now let's head over to Allison Shepard, who takes a look at wrestling and bowling. Hi, Allison. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, Lily?
I'm doing pretty good.
Freshman Emily Leesenberg has the experience of wrestling at the state tournament. Emily wrestled 2 matches over the weekend, but lost them both. Congrats on the great season, Emily. The boys varsity had the weekend off since the OCC tournament was canceled, and they're getting ready for this week's sectionals out in Newark. Wrestler Chuck Williams has been gearing up for state tournament since of last March because of the way his season ended. Here's Audrey Paquette with a story on how Chuck is wrestling his way back to states.
Chuck Williams wrestled for a state title in middle school. Coming into high school, Chuck set a goal to go back to states as a high school wrestler. Freshman and sophomore year, he qualified for districts, but his quest for states both years ended early. Junior year, he was a sectional champion at 132 pounds, and he placed 4th at districts to qualify for states last March. But we all know what happened in March, and that's when Chuck got a text from his mother.
I had to step out in the hallway for a sec because I had to call her. I didn't think it was real. And then at first it was just postponed for a couple weeks, so I wasn't too mad, but then it was canceled, and I don't know how I felt. I was just so upset. I didn't want to go back to that spot. It was bad.
I was crushed. He was crushed. It's just one of those things. We literally practiced 2 or 3 days ahead of state, knowing that it might be canceled. It was a bitter pill to swallow. I mean, he had worked, so hard, barely missed it the year before.
After the unexpected news, Chuck put it behind him and started working on improvements on his techniques for this season, more determined than ever to actually qualify and compete at states.
Just keep wrestling. I couldn't compete like in live matches as much over the summer because of the COVID, but I still practiced a lot and I still got on the mat. So just practicing and drilling with some teammates over the summer, technique-wise, and just more focusing on like the fine-tuning of what I messed up on last year.
Entering his senior year, Chuck's record is 87-22, and his motivation for this season is that painful moment last year.
Remembering that painful moment and just almost going to the Schottenstein Arena and just I know I can get back there, and it's just good motivation to have throughout the whole way this year. Well, obviously I want to qualify, but not only qualify, but go to the tournament and do very well. I obviously want to place at the tournament in my last year, so I definitely want to see myself on that podium. Just wrestle hard, score as many points as I can, and just don't quit. Just keep going.
Not only does Chuck want to qualify for states this year, but he wants to accomplish something bigger for the wrestling team and himself.
It'd be cool to be the first state champ ever. That'd be sick. We haven't had one.
We've never had a state champion. We've had 3 runners-up. I would be ecstatic for Chuck. I mean, he is a quality kid, the kind that, would represent a state title very well.
Despite everything that has happened, Chuck has managed to take the negative from last year and turn it into a positive life experience.
Just to appreciate the time you're in right now and don't take it for granted, really.
His quest for states will continue at sectionals on Saturday. I'm Audrey Paquette in the Zone.
Thanks, Audrey, and good luck to Chuck and the others at sectionals. Now, let's talk Hannah bowling. The Lady Lions are the defending state champions, and they are now the 2021 district champions. The girls rolled a 39-38 to win districts and advance to state. Lindsay Oakman led Gahanna with a 6-13. Tori Richardson had a 6-04. Congrats on the win and good luck at state. The guys' bowling season is over, and the Lions rolled a 38-85 and finished 6th at districts. Jackson Leland had a 6-32, DeAndre Kiro had a 6-18, and Eddie Pack had a 5-91. Well, that's all from me. Let's head back to the sports desk to Lily and Juju, who have our players of the week.
Thanks, Allison, and I hope you have a great week.
You too.
Now it's time for our Pulp Players of the Week.
Athletes were nominated by their coaches, and the winners were decided by our Twitter poll.
Our winners will receive a free large smoothie from Pulp Juice and Smoothie Bar.
Congrats to our finalists, McCord Riegler and Ashley Proman. And our 2 players of the week are Sean Jones and Bella Ward. Sean scored 21 points in the conference championship game against Pick North, and Bella had 22 points and 14 rebounds in the tournament game against Thomas Worthington. Congrats, and you guys can both pick up your Pulp gift cards here in the TV studio. While we are focused on the winter sports season, some Lincoln athletes are already focused on their upcoming fall season, but they won't even be here at Lincoln. On next week's Lincoln Sports Zone, Courtney Grimm sits down with 4 seniors who will be continuing their athletic careers in college. How are they preparing and what do they expect? You'll find out on next week's Lincoln Sports Zone.
That's all for this week's Lincoln Sports Zone.
We want to wish all of our winter sports athletes who are still competing good luck as they finish out their seasons.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.
Bye.